Hello and welcome back to the ThyGap podcast. Yes, it's been a while. It's been, let's not count the number of weeks. Those are technicalities, semantics. Let's just get to it. My name is Bogus Noog and I'm once again joined by my co-host.
Being Brute.
Brute, what's up? What's going on?
Well, the second wave came in.
Yep.
So we kind of got locked into our own places.
Yep.
Small boxes called apartments.
Mm-hmm.
And now great news is the Telangana government has raised the lockdown away.
Yeah.
What do you say? Ended the lockdown? Like, how do you put it?
I don't know what it was because typically I was expecting that as usual, if they say, it's going to be going on for another 10 days.
Right.
Then 9th day at the 9th hour, at the 9th minute, we get another,
First of all, there's a cabinet meeting with
Yeah.
regards to what should we do next.
Right.
And then obviously, I don't know how that conversation goes, but I think they all just stare at the clock and they're like, now, that's it. All they say is now.
Alpha, go.
Go.
So,
Plan A is a go.
yeah, and usually what happens is at the very last minute, they let us know there's 10 more days of the same
Yeah.
going to happen. And in the past, I used to get always pissed off by this, but these 3-4 weeks of extra lockdown have helped me to take a pause, bro, and reflect. And I understood why they do it, and I'm not so pissed off anymore. Because the only logical reason, maybe there is some sadism involved, but
From the government?
Okay. But the only logical reason I saw was maybe they're trying to avoid that panic shopping or panic buying that we usually tend to see. Like if they announced way too early, then people will be like, oh, there's another 10 days of this. So again, they'll rush to the stores and rush to the petrol bunks and,
Yeah, which I don't understand. I never understood panic shopping before a lockdown.
Yeah.
For the plain reason, I understand grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, you might not want to come out for like the next 10 days or 15 days. So you want to stock up your groceries. Makes sense. Why are people rushing to the petrol bunks? Like, I never understood the rush in a petrol bunk just before the lockdown. I mean, like, where are you going?
Exactly.
like, where are you trying to go during a lockdown? I still understand the wine shop queues. That is, again,
Yes.
it's sensible, right?
Yeah.
You're stuck at home. You want to face your wife all day.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You want to drink like all night.
And in the same vein, I understand the queues outside medical stores as well, because that's what I saw. 3 places, medical stores, wine shops, and petrol bunks.
Yeah.
Because medical store, again, you're going to be stuck with your wife for a very long time. So
And you're drunk now that you've
and you're
shopped at
drunk.
the wine
So
shop.
you need medication for not only a hangover,
Yeah,
but for tumorous headaches as well.
exactly.
Yeah.
And probably, I don't know, if they're newlywed, maybe a bunch of condoms. I don't know.
Yeah.
Procreation is an important aspect of marriage. So, yeah, medical shops make sense.
Yeah.
But petrol bunks, it still puzzles me. Who are these people who are filling petrol? Like just before a lockdown.
Or do you think maybe they're smarter than us? And there's something like if there's a lockdown, then at the end of it, maybe there's going to be inflation. Maybe the petrol prices are going to go up and they want to avoid that.
I don't think our public is that smart. You know,
Okay.
I don't think we see that far ahead into what's going to happen post-lockdown. It's very See, like you said, it is all impulsive shopping, right?
Yeah.
So all these are impulsive decisions. It's like, for me, going to a petrol bunk before a lockdown is like going to a water park in rainy season. Doesn't make sense.
Okay.
What will you do in a water park in a rainy season? If it's raining, what will you do in the pool?
Right.
You know how neurotic you have to be, or like how cuckoo you have to be to go to a water park during rainy season?
But wouldn't that be like the best case scenario, because
Nobody will be there.
it's not just the bottom half of your body that's constantly wet, but now you feel the 360 degree like wetness.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I think that negates the whole concept of a water park. Like, you're going through a slide and then there is rain falling on you.
Right.
Water park is not just a swimming pool, right? I hope you went Did you go to a water park like as a kid?
Oh, it's been a very long time.
SL World.
Very long
all those
time.
places.
Very long time.
Yeah, it's like fun place, right? You don't want to you want to control the drench,
Right.
you
You want to know,
Yeah,
be aware of where the wetness is.
exactly. I just want my wetness to be only till my thighs.
That's it.
That's it. And if I don't want that, but I still want to wear like a swimming suit or like a trunk or whatever, then I go for a ride. I go into the ride, sit in there with the, beach clothes amongst the concrete jungle. So it's just like an aesthetic feel.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm not sure how much of this echo is being captured, but it feels like we are in deep secret underground cave.
Or we are high up in the heavens.
You never know.
You never know. Like, this is the ambiguity that we provide to our audience.
Yeah.
Where they keep guessing where are we speaking from.
Yeah, this is the reason why this is still an audio podcast. Yeah. Which is, our locations are top secret.
Absolutely. So if somebody's offended, you can't find us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or probably you can. I don't know. Depends on who got offended.
Yeah, like how badly do you want to find us is the question. But if you do want to find us, you know where to reach us on our socials.
Yep.
Twitter, we are at ThyGap.
At ThyGap.
And Instagram is
@_ThyGap.
Yes. And we have our email,
which is mindthygap@gmail.com.
Right. So if you do want to find us, that's the place you start first.
Yeah.
And
so you can ask us like, hey, I want to meet you. You can do that whole stalker thing where you're nice to us and then you meet us and catch us and then like hold our collar and like, what the fuck were you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
In your podcast. And we are like cool with that.
Yeah.
Any kind of interaction with humans, we are up for it.
Absolutely. And also on Apple, especially on Apple Podcasts, like if you leave a 5-star rating and if you write a nice comment, that really helps us out.
Yeah. We can't promise a shout out,
but we can suggest it.
Yeah, we can.
Or we can tease it.
Yeah, we can kind of like, tickle with it or something.
Yeah, find out what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life is full of surprises, people.
Exactly.
And if you don't want to be surprised by us, who else is there to surprise you?
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, we are the only guys who you have.
Yeah, let's be honest. You're pretty lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if that's the case, there's an episode called Loneliness versus Solitude, which we...
A quick callback to our previous episodes on ThyGap podcast.
So, I don't think we've ever gone this long without recording an episode, bro. Of course.
I mean, we took a break.
It was because of external circumstances.
Yes.
Between the night curfew only and then just 4 hours in the morning, there was no way in hell we could have met up because both of us stay on the other sides of the city pretty much.
Now, yes, I don't know if people have followed in one of the episodes, it got revealed that I moved out of Kukatpally.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I like where I've moved. I'm not going to tell where I have moved.
Right.
People have to listen to the whole episode to figure it out.
Yeah.
But that distance has become a problem. Whoever said long distance relationships are cool, they don't know.
Yeah, they're lying.
They've
to
never
themselves.
been in one.
No.
Right. So it was difficult for us, and logistically it was very hard.
Yeah.
And we are one of those people who are like, hey, let's not do it digital. Let's not
we did not want to do it.
Yeah, we have to be in each other's presence to get the chemistry and the energy flowing and, to get the eco effect and all that.
Exactly.
Natural, organic eco effect.
Exactly.
Right? So we didn't want to entertain that nonsense.
Yeah. If you ever wondered, what would it be like if I was stuck with two of my friends in a deep cave?
Yeah.
This is where you come for that.
This is how you might feel.
Yeah.
You might not know us, but we know you.
Deep down.
We know how it is to be lonely.
What have we been up to, bro, in this break of 4 weeks? What's been going on with you? Like, have you watched something? What was going on?
I watched a bunch of stuff, actually. I watched a show which is very close to you, personally, in multiple ways. Family Man 2.
Oh, yeah, I watched Family Man 2 as well.
Yep,
yeah.
I watched Family Man 2. And to be honest, I was surprised by Samantha's acting. I think she's becoming a good actress as she's like, Well,
it could also be that the opportunity presented itself now, right? Because I don't think she ever got a role anywhere close to this one.
She did. I think she did. It was not as unglamorous as this one, but she did do a few movies where she was not the conventional, starstruck female lead or anything. There's a movie called with Naga Chaitanya, where basically they're like middle class family and they're forced married.
Which one is this?
Emaya Jaisaway. I don't know which movie.
I don't think that one counts because in that one she just had to be the sultry, mysterious kind of girl. Always
will she make out or not kind of
exactly
anyway,
like
right?
Always had to speak in like hushed, husky tones. Like
which is why I'm saying she grew from there. You know, I think she made good progress as an actress, and there are very few who have seen. I'll be really honest. When I first saw her, I was like, dude, she's not a great actress. There are a few movies which she did recently. In Rangasthalam, I think she did really well. But I like Pooja Hegde. Pooja Hegde for me is the real deal.
Okay.
I really like her for the fact that she looks so normal. You know, so what do you say?
Generic?
I don't know. Yeah, so generic. Actually, that's the word. It's like she's so normal, but then she has this few random things that kind of pop out once in a while.
Just took me back because a common friend of ours and we used to joke around that Pooja Hegde looks generic.
Yeah, she might.
Yeah.
It's like Vidya Balan.
I mean, we never said it was bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
We just said it was generic.
Yeah, she might. And it's like Matt Damon. You know why Matt Damon got casted in Jason Bourne? Because he had one of the most common faces. Like, he was not that drop-dead, gorgeous, good-looking guy. And the director actually said that, like, hey, you would work because you're not that handsome. That's how the director's feedback was after his audition.
Yeah, Matt Damon also tends to have a resting, confused face.
Yeah.
Which helps.
Yeah, which is like the typical, a working-class guy who's
always confused.
Grinding through his day every day. So, being generic is not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah, for all those people who have not seen me, I have a generic face. I've been compared to, from goats to fucking like movie stars or whatever. So I have a super generic face.
Across species, you're saying?
Across the levels. People call me Gautam Bhimani. Okay. People call me a goat when I have my beard and stuff.
As in not the greatest of all time, but actual goat.
It depends on what I take it.
No, I think that meant the animal.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to dig deep. I don't go into those criticisms like that. But, their generic faces are good. They're
there's
really
nothing
important.
wrong.
There's nothing wrong. And Pooja Hegde, I might agree with you. But she still has that charm in her face. Like, I don't know how that comes.
Yeah, of course.
I've seen Mohenjo-daro also of her movie. Like, I'll tell you why I saw that. Just wanted to see how bad the movie was. Right. I did see it.
Right.
And I felt like she's still pretty. Like, she still did well for whatever was supposed to be done there.
But coming back to Samantha.
Yeah, okay.
I honestly feel that it is not fair to evaluate an actor in that way because I think it has to do with the opportunities also that you're getting. This role especially was very specific. And there was a lot of resentment and, bad history and anger, especially the anger and frustration in that character's back journey.
Yeah.
Which I think was very different from whatever opportunity that she got in the past.
I think this is the first time she's doing something like this in a OTT platform. I don't know if she has ever worked in
she's never worked
like a web series. So obviously but she did few Tamil movies where she did some really good roles. I think, what was that, 36?
Define good role. What do you mean?
So basically, she is this person who has this extramarital affair and ends up killing somebody.
Okay.
And now her husband and this female, are trying to hide the body. And that's like typical middle class who are living in this huge quota kind of a place. And they're hiding this body while their neighbors are coming in, her relatives are coming in, and there's a huge chaos. But they have to subdue that whole fear of, there's a dead body in the house. And the kids in the house, the kids of the relatives come and they are roaming around the house and blah, blah, blah. There are few roles. It's like one of those movies which has like multiple stories put together, where Vijay Sethupathi acted as like this eunuch.
Oh, okay.
What was it called? Deluxe.
Okay.
Deluxe, yeah.
So
she did well in that.
She was the main character in this? Like
so
protagonist?
In that story, yes. So like I said, there were multiple stories. Yeah. And her story was this one. And she did really well. She did Oh Baby was good.
Okay.
Oh Baby was a very different way. She had to play like this old lady who's just got back her youth and all. I think she did well in that.
I didn't watch any of those, so...
Yeah. For a fan, I think you should watch a lot more.
I never said I'm a fan. Like, I'm not a fan.
Or a person who finds her pretty. I watched Mohenjo-daro just because Pooja Hegde looks pretty, okay? Yeah, I wanted to see what was her first mistake.
For me, it's more like... or do I think she's pretty? Okay, I thought she's pretty good. I'm moving on. It's not like I'm going to keep following and watching movies that they're in. It's more about whether the movie is interesting or not. But Family Man 2, And she was also damn fit in that role, physically fit.
I mean, I'm
Surprisingly,
assuming that
the
you
abs.
don't follow her on Instagram.
No, I don't.
She's a huge fitness freak.
Okay, that's why it was surprising.
And I think Raj and DK were actually having doubts in casting her initially because it's not a glamorous role, and she might reject that. But once she was in, they kind of had a conversation, and they told Manoj Bajpayee that, oh, we are casting her, and Manoj Bajpayee was like, are you sure? Like, she looks fragile, blah blah blah. So the first time he actually went to shoot with her, they showed Manoj Bajpayee a video where she was doing her own stunts, and Manoj Bajpayee was like, okay, she's really into it. Like, so once he gave like the green signal, or rather, like, he was also convinced that it's a perfect casting. I think they went for like 2-3 other people before they went to Samantha. Actually, I don't know. I was seeing one of the interviews.
Yeah, it was pretty clear that she really gave it her all.
Yeah.
And overall, in terms of the overall cast as well, such a great job.
Yeah,
they did.
The funny thing is like the typical stories. The Chellam guy became such a huge meme and like a popular character.
Yeah,
and it's like more like, I think it's very good writing rather than the guy acting itself.
Yeah,
I didn't find the guy to be like,
no, there was nothing in terms of like scope for acting in that role. It was more about the positioning of that character in the story.
Yeah,
and it became so popular that now people are writing to the creators saying maybe there should have been more Chellam. Maybe we want to see more of Chellam, but that's the thing. It worked because
it's only so much.
It was served in such small doses.
One of such characters that I think of is, I don't know if you've seen this movie called Prema Chitram Pelli Vichitram, which is an old Janjala movie.
I've watched it, but I don't remember.
Okay,
anything.
So I'll tell you, the beauty is of this role. This is the character that Tanikala Bharni did. So they're all going for, like, to give you I'll paint a picture. Everybody is going to the village in a train to attend a marriage or whatever.
Right.
And there's this villainous guy. So Brahmanandam is supposed to be the antagonist. Okay. So he's scheming about how to spoil the marriage and whatever. Brahmanandam has this problem of shoplifting. Like, he keeps taking away things and not return them back ever. So he's sitting in the train right opposite Tanikala Bharni, and he steals his glasses to read something or whatever. And so he stole Tanikala Bharni's glasses, and he took away a magazine of another co-passenger. And the co-passenger is trying to get back his magazine. So he tries to partner with Tanikala Bharni, saying that he took your stuff also.
Okay.
So ask it back. So if he doesn't have your reading glasses, then he can't read my magazine. So I'll get back my magazine. This is the whole scene, right? This guy basically just tells the story of his life about how he lost everything in his life, right? Like, when he was born, his mother died. Like, when he went to school, his bag was lost. Like, he kept losing everything and all that.
Tanikala Bharni. Right.
And he tells it in such a bland, fucking, like, deadpan way. And then he becomes like psychotic, and they're like, but still, do you know why I'm so happy? Because whoever stole my stuff never lived happily. They like fucking died.
Oh.
Right? And it's just that switch, okay? He's just there for about like 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
Right.
Fucking brilliant role. And every time I see the movie, I always wish this guy comes again sometime, later.
Yeah.
But it won't work. Right? It just won't work.
I mean, even if you do introduce that character again, you're just diluting from the potency of the first bit.
Yeah.
So Chellam really worked because he was coming in those small doses. And what I really liked also was that they were in fact bridging the gap between it was a generational gap in intelligence.
Yeah.
Because that character of Chellam was active in the past when, Manoj Bajpayee's character and all were kids.
Yeah.
And so there's always this bridge in intelligence between generations that this character was helping to fill. Yeah. Like, for example, in the climax, it's he who really enables these guys to find
where they are,
where these guys are plotting. And correct. If he wouldn't have really come in, they would have had no clue in the whole state of Tamil Nadu, like where to go and now look.
Actually, even in the beginning, I think every time Chellam came, he solved the problem.
Yeah,
right? It was not much. Like, Like he was the Google for these guys, and they
Yeah.
are fucking CIA or Central Intelligence. or
And not
whatever.
just for these guys, specifically only for Srikanth, only for Manish Bajpayee.
Yeah,
Because he did not want anything to do with the department
Correct.
as such.
correct.
And he made it clear also, like he doesn't care. It's
Right.
just his personal relationship
Yeah.
with this guy that, because of which he even has a door open to call him and contact him and all that stuff. And so, like, what else? Like
Which other characters do you? I mean, which other movies or serials that you've seen where there is this guest appearance which kind of stole the show, and then you're like, everybody's like, dude, this guy is the best guy. Can you think of such characters which kind of made a mark?
cameos.
I found Brad Pitt's guest appearance in Friends was killer. Like, I think he did really well in fitting that universe so naturally. There's so many other characters who came who just didn't fit that well.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruce Willis came. I mean, Friends had like a long
lot
list
of,
of
yeah.
celebrities, but Brad Pitt's was probably the ones which stood out for me. Just the way he fit into that Friends ka universe. That is one.
Neil Patrick Harris in White Castle.
Yeah.
What's that movie? I'm talking about
What? Oh yeah. The Kumar and Harold's.
Harold and Kumar.
Harold and Kumar. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
That character.
Yeah,
was
that guy is sick, dude. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
insane.
That's a good character. Yeah, that's a good cameo.
Yeah. It was a much higher escalation of his Barney Stinson kind of character also.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was amazing.
What else are there? There's so many others.
There's so many.
Yeah, there's so many. But in movies specifically, there's not much of a scope.
Yeah, because
If you think of it.
yeah, there's a better scope in serialized, like long form
Yeah.
content, but in movies it's slightly tougher. So yeah, and I hadn't watched Family Man 1 also. So when 2 was coming out, I was like, okay, let me catch up. So I watched the first part, then the second part. And then I watched this show called The Last Hour, I think, on Amazon Prime. It's a psycho thriller kind of genre. And it is shot completely in Sikkim.
Okay.
And who's Anil Kapoor's family? Sanjay Kapoor.
Oh, okay. Okay, Sanjay Kapoor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Sanjay Kapoor is there in that. But the best part about that show, of course, was that the location, they shot it completely in Sikkim. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then they also
Gangtok.
Yeah, and then they also made the choice to hire local actors. So instead of having to watch, all North Indian kind of actors
Typical.
in a different location,
Yeah.
this time you're seeing actually people from there acting in, and so their language, their accent of Hindi,
Matches.
and their mannerisms.
Yeah.
It's also, we made it more interesting to watch because you're getting some amount of authenticity at least.
Yeah.
So
What is the series about again?
it's to do with their folk tales. So they derived from their own northeastern folk tales, and it's about a guy who can like just after you die, right? If you died, this guy can do some sort of a ritual near you where he can meet you in the afterlife. Like he astrally projects,
Okay.
meets you in the afterlife, and then he walks you to the point where there's a boat, and he helps you get on the boat. Basically, he's helping you move on. Pass over. So
He's like a post-death counselor.
Post-death counselor.
Bro, you gotta move on, bro. You're dead.
Exactly. That's exactly what he does. He helps people realize that yes, they've died,
Yeah.
and now they have lots of questions. So he simply guides them through. He takes them to the point where they get on the boat, and the boat sails off.
I think a lot of people who die now, their question to that guy would be like, so when is the lockdown ending? Like, what is the next step?
Yeah.
And they're like, doesn't matter, bro. You gotta move on. Get on the boat, bitch. I ain't got all day.
So basically now this hero has a power, which means the antagonist also has a different power of his own.
Obviously.
And he wants this hero's power.
Absolutely.
So that's basically the arc of the story.
Yeah.
And
considering it was Sanjay Kapoor, I think it would have been easy to get his power. Sanjay Kapoor looks very
Sanjay
helpless.
Kapoor is just a cop.
Oh, he's not even like the hero.
No. He was just a Mumbai cop who got
mixed up,
transferred
to
this Sikkim place. I don't know, because he goofed up in his job or somehow. So they transferred him. And that's how he finds himself in this world.
Oh,
The hero is a Sikkim-based actor only.
okay.
So
That is interesting. It's on Amazon Prime.
it's on Amazon Prime. It's called The Last Hour. So story-wise, plot-wise, I mean, you can make out the budget was really low.
Yeah.
So they did their best, especially in the supernatural sequences, showing how people pass on and all that. They did a good job with the budget, but otherwise, it wasn't really great. The only good part about it was the fact that they used local actors, and it felt more authentic and more natural. Like that's the only thing that kept me watching, and also the sceneries, of course.
Obviously, that's Sikkim. Like you click random pictures, they look amazing.
Yeah.
But there's another thing that actually came in that I discovered or I came across in this last 4 weeks is Clubhouse.
Oh yeah.
Oh sweet Lord, is House Party 2.0.
Yeah.
Only without games and all the nonsense that is
And without
involved in-
video.
And without video, great thing. I think it's an important thing. And well moderated, well designed app. But I still don't know how to use it. But I can see that is going to become like a huge rage very soon, and then it will go like top.
Yeah. I kind of got the same fad kind of vibe from that, because on the one hand, okay, it's nice that you're getting all these people, you're having conversations going, but then there's no way to access that conversation at a later point of time from the app itself. Like there's no option to record a session or share it through Clubhouse. The only way I've seen people doing it is they've recorded it on their phones and they're sharing it on different social media platforms. But then as long as you're not able to do that within the app itself, I don't know how long it's going to go for.
The only thing that I see which is good about it is that whole concept of live real-time commentary on things, right? And you can just listen to it. It's like an audio book or like it's an audio chatter. And that's the only thing that I find great about it. There's not much of sharing per se that you can do on that.
Yeah, and as expected, the quality of the audio that you hear. I don't mean audio quality. I mean quality of discussions or conversations. It's God.
I've seen some of the weirdest, rooms on Clubhouses.
Yeah.
Like they have this whole list of things that you can't do. Like don't be flirty, don't try to like talk cheap, blah, blah, blah. That's like the room rules or whatever.
Right.
And you go into the room and that's exactly what is happening. Like they are like bad mouthing each other or bitching each other. And then there's like this, somebody is like, oh guys, don't worry. Like they know each other. So you're like, okay, so how does it matter to me? Like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And also the moderation, I think would be so tough to do. Like imagine you have a room where there's like 100 people who've joined.
Yeah.
You have to now sit and moderate who talks now and who doesn't talk and who's not behaving well so that you kick them out of the room. But it's like a thankless job.
It is a very Atmanirbhar app.
Exactly.
Like you as a speaker, if you're not a moderator and you're a speaker, you need to abide by the rules. If you don't, then if you're lucky, the moderator won't figure out who's the guy who's not abiding by the rules. If you're not lucky, then you get kicked out. So you do the same thing in another room. So it is, those are like the drawbacks of the app. You need 10, like at least if you have like 50 people in a room speaking, you need at least about like 10 moderators who can keep track of who's speaking what and etc.
Yeah, and also it's like a thankless kind of job. Like,
it is.
What do you get out of it?
It's like a traffic police job. Like nobody like appreciates it.
Yeah.
To think about it, nobody appreciates a traffic police. It's so bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But I don't really see how far it will go. The kind of conversations, like I said, there was not one room where I felt like, oh, I should stick around because this is interesting.
Yeah.
It's always like within 2 minutes or 5 minutes, I'm like, I'm out. It's like, what is going on here?
And there's no like literal description of the room, right? It's just a heading. So you read the heading and it's like, a random room of, are you a night person or a morning person? That's like the room name. And then you go in and people are talking about, bhai chai peene se maza aata hai yaar, subah and all that. And like what? Like
Such
what
pearls
is happening?
of wisdom.
This is not something that I'm excited about. So it has its own difficulties in probably making your audience stick to you.
The only plus I saw was, I mean, for people like me who are allergic to Facebook, if you want to find like in your own city, people in interesting professions or interesting meetups, like some people who want to just go out and do street photography.
Right.
And they want to talk about it, like coordinate about that stuff. I think that was the only benefit that I saw.
It's like the cheapest phone call.
Yeah.
Conference call, rather.
Yeah. And once you talk in that particular moment, in that situation, and then the session is done, it's all gone.
It's all gone.
Up in the air.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know how long really it will last.
I don't see a huge shelf life. It will ride the high and then it will kind of die down.
Yeah.
But how much of generic content they would be getting is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Everybody going out. Like I've seen rooms where people are talking about depression, people are talking about being treated unfairly because of color, race or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you go into the room, 10 minutes, you listen to people and you're like, dude, why are you like telling all this?
Yeah.
Like, don't tell all this, dude. This is supposed to be your personal shit. Like, don't tell it. But again, see, it's their call. But I'm not very like.
That's the fad. Like you just, wash your dirty linen in public.
Yeah, it's like I want to be a victim. It's almost you can hear that, in the background that I want to be a victim because this is what happened to me.
Yeah.
You're not teaching anything good to these people. Like, I mean, I might be coming across very controversial in this with this opinion. But if you don't, the first step of not getting like bogged down or like bullied is like you should stop believing you're the victim.
Yeah.
If you at any level feel that, and if you feel that, by sharing this, I'm going to like, no, people look at the responses you're getting. Oh, that's so sad. That shouldn't happen. Like, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, that's no rocket science. And then you hear their side of the story about, what goes through these guys, like how bad these bullies are or, all these racial, abusers or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And you're like, no. So how is that helping you defining the whole act? That doesn't help the person much. It's a completely different thing that helps the person. And they are not going to get that here. It's evident.
Yeah.
So I think that's a misuse of the platform also.
And
which shouldn't be done, according to me.
I was thinking like, how would this really benefit the people who are behind the app? And the only way I can see it is, I don't know if, AI is really still at that point where it can clearly pick up everything that is being said and then transcribe that automatically. Maybe you can do that with the Western accents, but with our mixed language that we tend to speak, we tend to go in and out between our languages.
Yeah.
How much can the AI really understand what the hell I was saying?
What I feel is it's repository.
It's just repository. Yeah. Just collect what people are saying.
If I was an owner of an app like that and thousands, millions of people talking on my app and I'm obviously recording it in the backend.
Yeah.
Right. All I would say is, dude, I have like 100 million hours of people talking.
Yeah. In different age groups.
Yeah. About different topics.
Yeah.
And they're revealing some really dark stuff over here, right? So here is the material. You figure out what you want to know if you have the tools. So I can go to a Google and say like, you can improve your Google search by knowing what people are really talking about.
Yeah.
And this is real-time stuff. So
yeah.
I think that way they can really benefit. Otherwise, I don't see a reason why all these apps are for free.
Of course. I mean, anytime anything is free.
Yeah, there is a hook.
Yeah. And it's also, I think there could be a differentiation made between the amount of interest. For example, if the AI is looking at how many people liked one particular product, then they can say, okay, in these age groups, these many people like it. Yeah. But then in Clubhouse with the audio thing, it is like with the intonation in the voice and how passionately you are about saying you love this sports person or you love this particular product or company. Maybe they can tag metrics to that differently to say, okay, this is how much this person is interested in this particular product.
Yeah, it's almost like I will start speaking your language in the way you want to hear me. So question on the table is Clubhouse as innocent as it looks?
No, I don't think so. I mean, anytime, it's free, first of all. And
yeah. The easiest way to lure people is like make it free.
Yeah. And like you said, it just seems to be like a repository. Just come on, guys, come to our servers and just keep talking.
Yeah, keep talking, man.
We'll figure it out later on. Yeah.
Don't worry about what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Like, just put yourself out there.
Yeah.
It's like typical. That's what I'm saying. It's like a typical stalker stuff. Stalkers are sweet to you. They're not like, or like kidnappers. They are not like brawly and like fucking banging your head and taking you away.
They're more sneaky.
Yeah, they're very sneaky. They're very coy about their actual intention.
But then one of the benefits or advantages that we were talking about, which is if there's a live event going on, like you have the World Trade
Center's
final. World Trade Center's test final that's going on in England between India and New Zealand. And so anytime you have innings breaks or even while the match is going on, like you can
have a discussion.
You can just have a live commentary.
Yeah, it's like sitting in the stadium and talking to the guy next to you, who could be the same, who has the same level of passion to the game as you, because both of you are in the stadium. You might kind of probably replicate that in some way.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, that is not happening as much as it should. Now
I've seen a bunch of rooms being open for this match.
Have you seen how many speakers are there? Like how many moderators?
Very less.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Because then it becomes very one-sided. It's not like very...
None of the rooms that I saw had anyone popular. So I guess if there was one popular celebrity or, a known figure who created a room saying, I'm going to be commentating on the match throughout, then I think there'll be a lot of
But why do they need Clubhouse? Anybody who's popular, like a Harsha Bhogle, why would he need a Clubhouse? He would probably get onto Clubhouse post the match.
No, he doesn't need Clubhouse because he's already being paid to be elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'm saying popular,
Akash
like
Chopra.
Some of these, some of these comics, stand-up comics, who are also cricket fans, who tend to do something on YouTube.
Yeah.
So for them, it can be like, I'm just going to open a room.
But it's a very difficult thing to like do a live session as the match is going on. It's very difficult.
Like, okay, if not,
I mean, like
live,
a commentary.
Why not?
You run out of like expressions. You run out of words. You get bored. It becomes mundane in your head of using the same word. Oh shit! Oh, what a fantastic shot! How many will you say? Like, how many times will you say fantastic shot?
Yeah.
Right. So you try to do something. You kind of like it's a very tricky thing to do commentary. It's not as easy as it looks. Like I know a lot of people say that.
No, it's not easy.
Akash Chopra is like, the worst commentator ever.
Yeah.
But let us cut a flag. This guy can still manage to speak 8 hours of the whole day, right? Or like 4 hours in a stretch for the same thing that's happening, more or less, like probably like 10% here and there of variation.
Yeah. So if you look if you look at innings breaks or tea break or something, then maybe you can make better use of it to recap like the whole session, like what went on.
Right.
But speaking of, the
WTC
final.
Dude, whoever the fuck thought of putting it in England?
Yeah, that is
what the fuck is wrong with them?
I
saw a crazy meme on Instagram today morning. I don't know if I shared it with you.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so basically Virat Kohli is like all shocked in the picture with his gear in his arms.
Right.
And like, what do you mean you call this as summer in England?
Yeah.
And it's pouring for like days together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, seriously, man. Like, what was wrong with New Zealand? Fucking put it in New Zealand. I don't care. Like, make it their home country.
It's like summer. No, we didn't say summer. We meant summer rain.
Yeah. Like we said some rain.
Yeah, some rain.
Yeah, that's what he actually said. But that's annoying, yeah. Like, this is. It diluted the whole excitement for me. First day washed out.
Yeah.
You have a reserve day. It's not like a one-day match. It's a test match. You know how important one full day is in a test match?
Yeah.
That too, especially when you lose out on the first day advantage of the pitch is even or whatever. And then you're using the Duke ball, which you can't see after like 4 o'clock in England. It's so dark that yesterday's play got called off like 2-3 hours before.
Yeah.
64 overs. That's all they could get.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know, dude. Like, there's so many loopholes in this.
So for a while it is like, oh, it's raining, we can't play. Then it's like, oh, there's light is low, we can't play. Then it's like
it's
breeze,
cloudy.
The wind is blowing.
Oh, we ran out of sanitizer. We can't play.
We can't play.
It's annoying, dude. That's not how a WTC test final should be like treated. You should treat it well. Like go to a place where, put it in US, I don't care. Like put it in a place where you don't have like weather disturbances for such a prime important match. It's like an inaugural final. Right?
Yeah.
So it's a big deal. The last 2 years went into an anticlimax. Like all the effort of the last 2 years. It's almost like, oh fuck, dude. It got washed out. So we are sharing the cup with New Zealand and India.
I mean, that's the most likely scenario that we will be sharing it. Unless
Is that the case?
That's
if
what
it's
I
a draw, if it's a draw,
yeah, you share.
You share. Is
Yeah.
it? Shit. That's not how it should be done, dude.
No, but in a test, the draw is always a possibility, right?
Yes, but I think if it was a draw, then there has to be a parameter or probably play another test. Which is why I kind of get it, like if you play like a 3-test, final.
Yeah, but their justification also, I was like, it makes sense. Because ICC was like,
too much of time.
We have to block off like 1 month.
Yeah.
And no team is going to know in advance who is going to play the finals.
Yeah.
So how do you block that entire month?
Yeah.
For 2 teams. And that is really...
India doesn't have a problem because we already have another
like 3 teams.
We have 4 teams.
Yeah.
Like if you want, we'll send one RCB
Yeah.
also on the side. You might be surprised that some of your players will be playing on our side because of the IPL contract.
So I think India has like 3.5 or 4 teams, and New Zealand has 2 teams.
In my math, I actually did this math. Give or take, we have about like 2.5 genuine teams.
Right.
Like 2.5 is like very, very realistic. But if I'm a little liberal about it, it's at least 3 good teams.
Yeah.
3 easy good teams, top spinners, top level pace bowlers, decent all-rounder in each of the team, a pretty good wicket keeper in each of the team. Actually, wicket keeper, I think only 2 are there. Oh no, Sanju Samson is there. Yeah, so 3 decent wicket keeper batsmen.
Yeah.
3 decent captains. You have a Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli now. Shikhar Dhawan is also there. Rahane is there. Yeah. Right? So there's a lot of good captains going out there. So we wouldn't have had a problem, if you ask me.
Yeah.
If they said like, let's make it a 3-test match series, we would be like, yeah, sure, no problem. We can deal our other commitments with our subsidy team.
But when the play did start though, it was pretty exciting because the competition from both sides, stubbornness from the batting and stubbornness from the bowling. Yeah. It's like
discipline more than stubbornness.
It's discipline from the
discipline from the bowlers. Dude, it's annoying. I mean,
it was so hard to get even one run.
One run. Like, imagine Pujara and Kohli sitting on 0, each facing about like 30 odd balls.
I mean, Pujara, there's not.
Okay, let me put another case. Kohli, okay.
Yeah.
Imagine a Rishabh Pant sitting on 0
yeah.
after 20 balls.
Yeah.
Right? And that's actually a huge kudos to both the sides.
Yeah.
Rishabh Pant controlling himself for 20 balls is a big deal. And then even the bowlers, like making sure that he doesn't get carried away or give them that loose nerve where he can like vent out that pressure and all.
Yeah.
So, New Zealand, first of all, I really like New Zealand as a cricket team.
They're very well liked.
Longest ages.
Universally liked team.
Yeah. Since probably 99. That is when I actually started saying New Zealand. Before that, it was like, I don't know, some team which plays in grey color, whatever. But New Zealand, I loved Stephen Fleming's captaincy. Whoever came, even Ross Taylor, Craig McMillan, Nathan Hassel, Brendan McCullum, obviously. Brendan McCullum is like a star of a different class.
Yeah.
Nathan Hassel, again, another guy who I really liked his batting. There are some very good talented players who are very nonchalant about their talent. That's the beauty about New Zealand cricket. Like a guy like Shane Bond is probably one of the best fast bowlers in general. Like Richard Hadley, who came from there and all. But New Zealand team almost comes across like, yeah, we're not that talented.
Very unassuming.
Okay. Yeah, very unassuming.
Unassuming, yeah.
Even Kane Williamson. Look at Ross Taylor.
He's the king of... Yeah.
Ross Taylor has been there for ages, according to me. And he's still like, yeah.
Yeah.
The only exception was Jesse Ryder.
Mm-hmm.
You know about Jesse Ryder?
No.
The left-hander, like bulky left-hander who played. Pretty good batsman.
Mm-hmm.
But he almost always, every series or every tour, got into a bar fight.
Oh, okay.
So they finally kind of had to say like, dude, you have disciplinary problems, so get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But Jesse Ryder is like pretty good batsman.
I mean, in the Aussie outfit, probably he would be one of the most well-behaved boys.
Yeah.
But in the Kiwi outfit, it's
Kiwis are like,
it's all relative.
Yeah. If
this is too much.
If he was in England also, I think he would have done well. You had Kevin Peterson, likes of Kevin Petersons and all these guys in English cricket.
Yeah, I mean, one bar fight is for the Aussies. That's still like grade level cricket. It's not even.
Yeah,
you're still playing Shield. You're still not in the international.
And that you had with a random guy, not the opposition team.
Yeah,
come on, come on, mate. You can do better than that.
Yeah, but as of this recording, 217 all out India, and now New Zealand is batting again.
Yeah,
they're saying we are probably maybe 20-40 runs short, which I don't really know if that's the case, especially because of Ashwin and Jadeja.
But it's not a spin track, number one. It's a Duke ball. We don't know how it behaves. Whatever rehearsals that they did or the trial matches that they played, something might have worked for Ashwin and Jadeja that they've taken them. I am a little disappointed that they have not figured out a place for a guy like Siraj. I think Siraj would have done really well on this kind of surface.
Yeah. With
his in-cutter and, his general pace, everything. But, okay, Shami is a fair bet.
Yeah.
And you needed Ishant Sharma and Bumrah.
Yeah.
So, somewhere I think I would have wanted one more hand in the pace bowling department. But then I would have to sacrifice either Jadeja or Ashwin.
Yeah.
So, in this case, I would have probably let go Jadeja. Because Siraj is still a decent fielder.
Oh.
And Ashwin is still, you still can expect 2 or 3 wickets in an innings from him. And he probably will add more runs to you while batting than Jadeja.
Yeah, I mean, there was talk that even if it's not really going to spin that much, you still have, you have 2 world-class bowlers and different arm action.
Yeah.
And Jadeja, he doesn't really need a spinning track. I mean, if he gets a spinning track, he goes to another level. But if you don't even give him...
He's Saklan Mushtaq.
Yeah, if you don't even give him spinning track, he'll then vary his length so much that he brings that LBW always into the question.
But see, New Zealand has always been... They always played Jadeja well.
Okay.
Siraj was that X factor according to me. Because they haven't played Siraj a lot. And he's been bowling really well, especially in those seaming conditions, right? In Australia, then even during only Australia is there, but even in Indian match, that one match he played, bowled pretty well.
Yeah.
So I would have taken him for the fact that Jadeja, they know how he bowls and they're pretty good players. Like in general, they're good players and they have a lot of left-handers. That's another thing why I would have probably not taken Jadeja and used a Siraj. Coming to the point that we were 30-40 runs short, I absolutely agree with that. I think this was around a 250 first innings kind of a test, where if you would have got it in 250, probably looked at, having an even, by the end of the first innings of both the teams, there would have been a difference of 20-30 runs here and there. And it would have been very interesting that whatever the third inning score would be a pretty tough chasing score by the time the final innings comes. So overall, I thought like the final day target would be around 200 to 200 change here or there.
Okay.
That's how I saw it. But again, we don't know if it again rains in the night or whatever. Like the outfield is dead slow. I don't know what they have done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a funny thing. I thought it was it's a batting, the first side batting's kind of a ground.
I mean, they pride themselves so much for the fact that their outfields, the drainage system is so good that, it soaks off all the water but for some reason, like it's just not going to the boundary. Like there's so many threes.
There are 2 things for that. One is obviously the outfield and how damp it is or how wet it is. The second is the ball, I think. I think the darker balls tend to get heavier fast. So I'm assuming it might be the Duke's ball, which is an interesting conversation I was having with So not conversation. I was listening to the commentary of Simon Dole, and he was telling how he went to the Dukes manufacturers and tried to figure out like what is it that they were doing, and they said apparently through a survey they told that bowlers generally like to pick the darker balls, the darker red balls. So that's the reason they have done it. But having said that, he's like, if it is too much, then we can kind of tone down the darkness of this thing.
Yeah, I heard that too. Like, if you want a change of color, we can do it. You want it pink?
Yeah, like you make it pink. You want purple, mauve.
Yeah.
Like you want like Louis Vuitton patterns on it. Like we'll do it all.
But
it would be an interesting. I would put my money on a draw.
Yeah, that's where it seems to be going. Right?
Yeah. But if not a draw, the next best result I think is New Zealand is winning.
Yeah, it looks like it. Just on the back of their bowling.
Yeah. But yeah, really basically I don't see India winning. Like it might be very difficult for India to win unless they come up with like a crazy performance in, the first they bowl out New Zealand for 150 and then scored like a quick fire 200.
Yeah, if the choice
unless that happens.
If the choice of these two spinners really turns out to be like a master stroke, if wickets just end up falling back to back, then that's the only way I guess maybe India has a chance to even come up with a result at the end.
Let's see.
Yeah,
we have done some really crazy stuff in the last year of test. We never know. Can't count out Indian team.
Boom. Pretty exciting to watch as long as the play is going on, of course.
Yeah, as long as the summer stays true in England.
Yeah. But pretty much this episode has been
about everything.
About us coming back from a lockdown and kind of dusting the cobwebs off.
Yeah.
Things that we've watched, things that we are watching, which is the cricket.
We will continue to watch.
We'll of course continue to watch.
And also an insight into what our next episode is, which we have impromptu decided right now.
Yeah, I mean we mentioned it before as well for those who are following us. We actually told
4 weeks is a long time, Bogus. Don't expect me to remember everything.
No, I don't expect you to remember anything. So, I mean, we did mention the 12-minute episode that we put out previously.
It was just to check if you guys are listening.
Yeah. And the next one, of course, will be on the blockchain and NFTs and all of that goodness. But I guess that's really about it for now. That's about it,
yeah. I think we have brought them up to pace as to what we are doing, what we have been doing.
Yeah.
And as a passing advice, invest in Bitcoin, guys. They seem to be spending a lot of money in marketing that shit.
Yeah, and
just like mutual funds.
That's from Bogus. That's from
Bogus. From Brute, what I want you guys to do
is... from Brute. From myself, I said do not invest in Bitcoin. And definitely, of course, this is not financial advice.
No, this is not. It's at market risk.
Yeah, if this is where you're coming for financial advice, then really you have problems. But
you're more lonely than we thought.
And let's leave on that thought.
Yeah.
So that's about it, guys, for this episode. Once again, as we always say, Brute, what do we say?
ThyGap. Subscribe.
And share.
Share it. Come on. Being all posh. Investing in Bitcoins and shit.
Hey, thanks for listening. You can follow this podcast on Spotify to get notified of new episodes every Thursday. We're also on Apple Podcasts for those of you who have partaken in the forbidden fruit. If you liked what you heard, leave us a 5-star rating and a comment. Say anything like the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. A rating and a comment really helps us out. It's free, and I'm told that's a great price. But enough about us, huh? Tell us about yourself. Leave us a comment. Our Twitter is @ThyGap and we are _ThyGap on Instagram.